all rawed up.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Cyclone Fanatic post-game show. I'm Levi Stevenson. That's Nate Schuster. We're breaking down Iowa State, delivering yet another ass beating today. Will the ass beatings ever stop? Nobody knows. Iowa State has now defeated its first two opponents, Arizona State and Texas Tech, in the first two rounds of the Big 12 tournament by a combined 71 points, which is absurd. Nate, how are we feeling this afternoon?
Well, probably could have started off a little bit better, but all things considered, I don't think you can complain. I don't think Lipsy played the under 4 either game. Give or
like, they took him about like 5:35 today, something like that.
He came right back in though.
Did he come right? Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Then they pulled him on the 4, but man, I'm not going to complain. It's one of the few times that our bigs outbigged the other bigs. That was nice. I feel great. I mean, Tom's been talking all week like we just got to get the reinforcements for Friday. We just got to get the reinforcements for Friday. And guess what? We got to Friday.
We got to Friday. Unfortunately for the rest of the Big 12, they unfortunately let us get to Friday. And they let us do it outscoring Texas Tech and Arizona State by 71 fucking points.
Yeah.
Which rips.
So underrated part of all this that I think, and this is just me from my family's experience with this kind of era in the Big 12 tournament. Like, my mom didn't come when we won in 2019 until Final Four. So they drove from Wisconsin down to Kansas. It's like a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
But we played these first two games this year, 2026, we played them 11:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., right? So if you're thinking, I got a free weekend to go down to Kansas City, like, you can buy tickets now during work, and it's not really that big of a hassle to get down for Friday. Like, versus if we were the 9 o'clock game, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you get what I'm saying, like, there's a lot more leeway where we could eat up a lot bigger portion of those seats.
Finney says you look like Timu Bill Skarsgård. That's pretty good. Nate and I are going to break down the game today. We're going to preview Arizona tomorrow. As I shouldn't say as always, as of the second day of this, we are presented by Iowa Distilling Company down in Cumming, Iowa. Make a host of wonderful spirits, including the Iowa State 1858 vodka that benefits the NIL fund, as well as Prairie Fire, which is a delicious cinnamon whiskey. We are happy to be a new presenting sponsor partnership with them. They're awesome people down there as well. They're getting ready to sell. They're on their 14th year. They're celebrating an anniversary next week, next Thursday down in Cumming. So definitely make it down there if you guys can. But let's talk about this game a little bit. Obviously, you started it off. It was rough. The first 3 minutes of the game were like, oh my God, is this happening again? Where every loose ball just went straight to Texas Tech somehow. Christian Anderson is sniping passes from 40 feet away, and they're finding wide open guys in the corner, and they're just knocking everything down. I don't know about you, but I was like, shit, we're losing this thing. We're losing this shit by 20.
Yeah, it kind of felt a lot like the first go around with Tech at home. they came out hot. We went into like the under 12 media, under 16 media, bad body language at home. Was not like that this time, I thought. There was kind of a sense of, hey, let's kind of pick it up. I think we got a little bit of a in the huddle audio clip during the game. I don't know if you heard that, but no, I mean, it started off, Petty hit an insane shot on Lipsy. Bamboye makes 2 free throws. Lipsy comes down and immediately misses 2 free throws. Does get a wide open look from 3. And I think the real story of the game is how much they disrespected our guards. I thought our guards were wide open a lot of the time. Lipsy had a lot of time to gather himself. There was a lot of times on catches where he would do a step back while getting the ball, and there's still nobody closing out on him. It's wide open. It's like,
and it's worth noting, like they were working to get people open too. It wasn't just like they just found themselves open. They were like running off screens really well and all that too.
Yeah, no, we were working for it, and then I thought they did a pretty good job of containing Milan. Milan only made 1 3, and all the threes that he took, I thought were forced, or at least tried to be. But yeah, it really turned around the middle of the second half. We started playing a lot more under control. Middle of the first half, sorry. I thought the broadcast was a little biased in the first half. I don't know about you.
It was a little Billis for sure. Yeah.
Oh, Billis and Shulman were just, could you believe that Donovan Atwood, he makes it every time, and then he missed like 1 in a row. And
it was funny because there was early in the game, Milan set a really hard screen underneath the hoop, and Billis just kept hammering that over and over. He's like, if you set a screen up top, they'll call you for anything. But if you get down, if you set a screen down low, you get away with mayhem. I was like, chill the fuck out, Jay.
Yeah, he makes us sound like we're like some sort of like pirates that are like pillaging and plundering
Act like you watched Big 12 basketball before. This shit happens all the time. Like,
yeah, rookie. Like, sorry, the ACC and your cupcake league.
Yeah, I'm sorry we can't be in the pillow fight ACC tournament. I'm gonna pull the box score for today. Tamin Lipsy, 20 points, 8 of 12 from the 4 of 7 from 3. Yes. When that happens, Iowa State is rarely going to lose a basketball game when you get that kind of offensive contribution from Tamin Lipsy. A couple rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. I'm not sure when the last time Tamin Lipsy played a basketball game in his entire life and he didn't have a steal, but, man, he was fantastic today and somehow was not even the best Cyclone.
Yeah. I mean, Jefferson played a better game on one knee, I thought. A lot of Lipsy's points came from Jefferson, I thought, whether it was a true assist or a hockey assist.
Right.
That was he had some Willis Reed out there with the knee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pull right there. Jefferson finished 18 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. Just 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Need to touch those up a little bit. But 13 rebounds, 6 assists.
We were 4 of 10 from the free throw line.
It's not good.
Before 8 of 4 in a row.
8 of 14 to finish it. Yeah, you said 4 of 10. But 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal, including one of those blocks was early. And I really, actually, you know what? That first block he had on it was on Atwell. He blocked He blocked Atwell's 3. I really felt like that was the moment where this thing kind of started to turn around a little bit. Because Texas Tech would have been up like 10 at that point early. This was early in the game, and Jefferson came back out, blocked it, and took it back the other direction. And I really thought that was the turning point that got Iowa State kind of they got their feet under them after that. I feel like they found their sea legs after that happened.
Yeah. I have in my notes here 15 to 4 was when Mosley had a slip dunk. Well, Mosley dunked it because Plata slipped, and
right.
We'll probably spend 10 minutes on the court and how shit it was, because there's no other word than shit.
But he got crossed up, but not really. He just slipped.
He got crossed up by his own sole rubber. That was really it.
Yeah.
So wide open dunk there, but all of a sudden the game was 28-28, 25-25. And it was kind of around that stretch, Levi, just like you said, like the Atwell block 3. We started kind of closing out and contesting their threes better, because you could kind of tell they were clearly hunting them.
Yeah.
And part of that is no topping, right? The other part of that was Bamboya wasn't playing. He only had 2 points. He made the 2 free throws on like the first or second possession and was a radio silent after that.
Yeah, he only played 22 minutes.
Yeah, but if you play your first 2 minutes, you score 2 points, then you're a no-show. Like you're a no-show.
Right. Yep.
I thought our post played great. We had 20 points from our fives. We had 38 if you could include Jefferson. 38 to 53. If you think of that in the grand scheme of, they only scored 53 total. We just need 15 points out of our guards and Milan. Like you should win that game. Yep. I'm interested to see how we change our game plan for Arizona. We are not going to be able to 2, 3, 4 times dribble back down and get a seal layup like Plato was, like Buchanan was, like Krivas and Awaka are too big. We saw how that happened in Tucson. But no, I thought you hit it on the head. First half, that run was great. And Jefferson and Lipsy's ability to stretch the floor and be a threat, I thought that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, and yeah, and we'll talk about Arizona here a little bit because I think there's some interesting things. I really don't think Iowa State is a bad matchup for, like, I don't think Arizona is a terrible matchup for Iowa State just as far as what they're good at, what they're not good at. But you look at this game, and yesterday I was very complimentary because I how could you not be won by 49? But yeah. It was the first game since the Houston game where we felt like we saw the version of Iowa State that can make the third weekend of the tournament. That's the first time we saw that team. We're like, holy shit! Like I know that Arizona, you can argue about how good they are. By the end of the season, they're just not a good basketball team. But it takes
Arizona State.
Yeah, Arizona State. Yes.
Yeah.
Texas Tech's still a very good basketball team, even without JT Toppin.
And Christian Anderson and Luwan Watts.
God, poor Christian Anderson, man. That he's so good, and we'll talk about the court in a little bit.
Yeah.
But today I was concerned about it because I was like, okay, now how do you take yesterday and turn it into today? How do you turn it into a second game in a row? How do you string together these games where they're playing this well? Yeah. And that's why I thought leaving the starters in for as long as they did yesterday, why I thought that was a good call, because that was going to allow them to just keep playing, just stay in the rhythm. Like nobody was playing hard enough in the second half where it was like, oh, these guys are getting banged up because they're playing in the game too long. It's like it was fairly free flowing. There wasn't tons of like hard contact necessarily. So, obviously they started out rough, and it's because I think they kind of got caught out of position in a couple spots. And like you said, Plata kind of slipped and lost it on that crossover. But after they were able to get their feet back under them and just kind of get settled in and really start running and realize that, like, without JT Toppin, you have a personnel advantage against Texas Tech. You just do. I mean, even with JT Toppin, you could argue they still have a personnel advantage.
Oh yeah, but their whole thing. They had JT Toppin lost by 30 to Purdue because they didn't have post depth.
Right. So it's like even if they had JT Toppin, you have a personnel advantage against Texas Tech, and you like they started to play like they knew that. Like they instead of kind of being, I think they started out being scared of Texas Tech draining a bunch of threes a little bit, and
well, I mean they started off and
they did they drained they were rightfully scared that Texas Tech was going to just start burying threes, but eventually they just started to say, wait a second. We're the better team. We're the better basketball team. They may be the higher seed, but we're clearly we're the more complete team that can play a 40 minutes at full speed and not worry about it type of thing. And they went back to how they played against Arizona State, where they're playing under control. Joshua Jefferson is playing under control. There was a few minutes where he was playing well, and then he started doing just a little bit too much. And I think that's where the trick for him to really unlocking his best game, like he kind of did today, was figuring out, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm going to keep pushing to see how far I can go. He goes, Icarus touches the sun, says, that's a little hot, and then comes back down. And it's a matter of easing back down or crashing back to earth. And for that stretch, that really rough stretch, he would play well and crash back to earth. And now he's just coming back down and settling into a really nice level of play where he's playing confident, he's being aggressive, but he's not locking himself down in the post. He's not isoing so much, and he's looking for passes out of the low block.
I think a lot of the fan base would agree with you, Levi, in terms of like when Jefferson's at his best is when he's playing like that.
Yeah.
I think Jefferson's game is a lot more reliant in that sense on the guards making shots, because if you are not a threat as the guard, then why is the guy guarding the guard closing out to the 3-point shooter? Does that make sense?
Well,
Like,
it's the LeBron theory. LeBron needs a bunch of shooters. Well, prime LeBron needed a bunch of shooters around him because if nobody was guarding the shooters, then everyone was guarding LeBron.
yeah, it's the and Giannis has the same shit, and
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you're a dominant forward, you're gonna all look at the dominant forward and hope that everybody else beats you. Um, Jokic is the same way right now. Like everyone doubles, triple teams, and we call him the best passer in the world. All he's doing is just dropping the ball over the top of the double's head.
Right.
That's all he's doing. He's just bigger than everybody. If Lipsy's not making threes at a 4-for-7 clip, if we don't have shooting like that from our guard spot, I don't think Jefferson has the ability to hit that ceiling that we have. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
But to your point, like, this is a team sport. If the team isn't working, like Jefferson did the right thing. He let the game come to him. You hunt the pass first. Trust your teammates. Teammates delivered. So now you get to go do a little bit more thing. You got to get to go and touch the sun a little bit more, and touch the sun. And then, like you said, like when the crash happens because, the guard missed a shot or you turned the ball over because you're doing too much, like the crash doesn't have to be to we're scoring 55 points against TCU. It can be today. It can be yesterday. Like,
you have a couple rough possessions, then you just kind of get your shit back going and you keep moving.
yeah, totally.
Absolutely. So if Joshua Jefferson keeps playing like this, he did have 4 turnovers today, but it
was 18, 13, and 6 or something like that.
It didn't feel like a meaningful 4 turnovers. Mostly just kind of a product of him handling the ball as much as he does. But if he's playing like this, where he's being aggressive, he's being aggressive as a scorer, but he's doing it in an intelligent way. He's not just barreling into people and just seeing what he can do, because he's not like the super mega athlete like AJ DeBonsa, where he's just you sprint full speed in the paint. You
out athlete the guy.
Joshua Jefferson's not doing that.
Yeah,
and that's okay. Like there's plenty of great players that have not out athleted people. Iowa State's got a pretty famous one in George Niang that just refused to out athlete a credit card. But Joshua Jefferson can be a very crafty scorer around the rim. He can be a very, very good passer. And when he's playing like he is right now, where he's confident, he's looking for guys, but as a scorer, he's still being aggressive, but not being bullheaded about it. That is the sweet spot for Joshua Jefferson.
Here's a football comparison. He's Brock Purdy on the 49ers. If he has the pieces around him, if he has the pieces around him to function properly in an offense and they're doing what they need to do, he can take risks and be a little bit more aggressive and use his legs and create on the ground and use play action, right? Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and all these guys, and it's just Kalen McCaffrey, they're not going to make the Super Bowl. But they could if they had all that. Does that make
Yeah, well, and part of it too.
There's some crossover that I could see just the way that Jefferson plays, because he's not always looking for himself. He is looking for the rest first, but if he did look for himself more, he'd probably look a lot better. But the team might not be.
Right. That's the thing, is like he needs to find the sweet spot.
There's a line
where there's a line where he finds a sweet spot. There's once he is to be more productive, the team has to get worse. So you need to find that sweet spot where he can be as productive as he can be without everything being more difficult around him. He has to lift. You
gotta bring everything.
You gotta nader people after he posterizes somebody on senior night. You gotta raise the roof. So that is, and Joshua Jefferson has found that perfect sweet spot the last 2.5 basketball games. He's found that sweet spot where he can play as great as he can. He can be as productive as he possibly can be while still continuing to lift the team up. And when Joshua Jefferson is playing like this, when Tamin Lipsy is now, I believe he's now 7 of 12 from 3-point range in the Big 12 tournament. He's taking care of the ball. He's playing good defense. When you have that duo being as productive as they are, you don't need Milan Momcilovic to go for 25 and bury 6 threes. I mean, Milan Momcilovic offensively was still important because he's still a big gravity piece for the defense that draws defenders away. It causes them to rotate. Like, even if he's not being productive, Milan Momcilovic being on the floor is still very, very, very important for Iowa State offensively. But you don't, I mean, if you can get 25 out of Milan because he's finding open shots, awesome. Iowa State will never lose a basketball game if Lipsy and Jefferson are playing like this, and also Milan dumps in 15. But
And you get
you
20
don't,
from your posts, and you get 20 from your center spot.
and you get 20 from your post. Yeah. Because, Blake Buchanan had 17 yesterday, had 9 today. 3 of 3 from the free throw line for Blake Buchanan. Hell yeah, Blake.
I thought Plata played the better game.
And Plata was awesome. We should give our flowers to Dom Plata, because he's been, he has had the like prototypical freshman progression curve throughout the season. We always talk about like, well, they should get more comfortable. They should do this. Him and Bateman both have followed the freshman progression curve that everybody like thinks all freshmen should do. Is like you start off a little rough, but then you get comfortable and then you start getting going. Where Toué started here and he kind of came down here and came back up a little bit and kind of plateaued a little bit, but he's playing better now. But Plata has just gotten better throughout the whole season. Started out clearly raw, still clearly raw offensively, but plays good defense. He rebounds. He's physical down low.
He's playing out of position.
He is. He absolutely is playing out of position.
He's a forward. When he was in Europe, he was really a 3.
He's a stretch really 4.
A 3 in Europe, playing the 4. But he keeps growing. He keeps getting bigger. His feet, each game, you kind of see him get a little bit better. Yeah, he slipped today. Who didn't fucking slip today? The court sucks. I know we got to talk about that at some point, but I'm trying to hold it off. But yeah, I mean, next year we're going to lose Jefferson, right? Like senior, it's over with. But like, if he stepped into the 4 spot and you gave him an off season of just kind of being more comfortable as a forward, guarding forwards again, making forward type passes, he could easily make the passes Jefferson's making. He could easily finish the way Jefferson's finishing. I think he's got a better left hand than Jefferson does, just simply because he's taller, and it's probably the same skill level, but he's taller. It's closer to the basket. And Bateman too. I mean, you don't come from that school that he went to high school at and that development program that he went to high school at MAS and not be kind of a microwave guy like he is. Everybody I've ever known that's gone there is a microwave, and he's growing. The game is slowed down for him. The first, call it 2.5 months of the year, call it mid-January, it was fast for him. He was not catching on. The Oklahoma State game at home was kind of the clicking point, and we're looking at him come off of pin downs, and he's creating for himself.
Yeah.
1 dribble pull-ups and the end of the second half. Like, he could be last few games he's been in our closing lineup for good reason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Steve Kemp's got a great point here. We scouted the scout in the middle of the first half to prevent Texas Tech's passes to guys wide open to the basket. So credit to Texas Tech, because what they did to start the game is Texas Tech, when Iowa State would come to trap, Texas Tech would send somebody to the hoop that they could just dump it down and get an easy bucket down low. We then adjusted to take that away. And so it was a fun chess match between the two, going adjustment for adjustment there. And fortunately, Iowa State's got more cards to play when it comes to making these adjustments because Texas Tech's roster is just limited because of injuries and things like that. But we got here for Nate and Tom. Oh, TMB. Oh, Tom Turner and TMB are 2 different people, by the way. I don't know if that
well, thank you, Steve.
But Nate's got $10. There you go. So it was the X's and O's chess match was fun there. So great point by Steve Kent there about you just scouting the scout and changing your how you play different things.
We wanted to force in. So our entire defense is meant we're trying to contain the defense to one half of the court at all times. That's right. The entire point of defense, and also no middle. So how do you give that up? You ice the ball screen. It looks like a trap. But then if you dump it off like they were the first game to Bamboye and he was just diving down the lane, going 6 for 7 from the field, he didn't make a basket today. That's the difference. If you can cut off that first pass and make the first pass out of the double longer, it gives you more air time to react. Air time being the ball is physically traveling in the air. So as soon as the ball leaves the hand, you're sprinting to whoever the guy is in rotation. That's how you beat them. That's the counter to the counter, just like how Steve was saying. So I do love scouting the scout because you got to scout. To me, it's more of a self scout. Like, hey, how would you beat us? How would you do this? How would you? beat yourself. And
I mean, it's just like plopping a chessboard down and playing against yourself. So it's
like, you're just swapping the board every time.
You're saying, I've got this, there's me. How would I defend me? And then how should I counter that? How I would defend me, type of thing. It's, I appreciate this, Steve, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the first one that said scouting the scout. If I am, great. But I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm happy to take credit for it though. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that this second half. Okay, Nate's got to step out here for a second. I know he's also kind of doing some work duty here. And when he jumps back into, we'll talk a little bit more Arizona as well. Before we do that though, I want to give some credit to, you know what I would do? I want to pull this up. There was a funny moment during the game. Where it was in the second half, I believe, and they put a microphone in the huddle on TJ. I want to see if I can find it again because I just had it pulled up. But they had a funny hot mic on TJ in the huddle, and there was a quote in there. He was quoted. This was in the second half. They're up like 20, and he's talking to his guys. He's saying, we're just keep doing what we got to do. And, we just keep playing how we're playing. And he said, no charity points, nothing to make them feel good. Fuck that. And the hot mic was the fuck that on the end of that. But it was such a funny moment too. Cause we don't, it was the clip right after he pulled the starters. Yeah. And, I just thought that was awesome. And that is that's the mentality that you got to have. If you're trying to be an elite basketball team at this point in the season, and you're trying to make a push in the postseason and the conference tournament, the NCAA tournament, you gotta have that killer mentality and saying, we're here. We're trying to make I would say it's trying to make a statement right now to jump up to the 2 seed line. And I guess if you had a proper amount of chaos, maybe the 1 seed, if you win out and get enough chaos around you, maybe. But I would say it's still got, they're trying to prove themselves. And I think they're trying to prove themselves to themselves more as much as they are to any, as much as they are to any individual, like committee member or something like that. But that's the kind of killer mentality. It's like, we're not just going to sit on our laurels. We're not going to take our foot off the gas. We're going to bury them. And they absolutely did that today. And it was awesome. Because there was times in that stretch, in that month stretch, where we weren't able to put teams away, or it felt like we would get up by a decent margin, and then just have to kind of, we would not have to. We would just kind of coast the way out. We would play the same. We would play roughly the same game as football did the last drive before the end of the first half, where we would just go to prevent, and then the other team would just go right up the field. Oh, do we got the clip here? Oh, Matthias jumping in here, saving the day. It's quiet, but. No charity points, nothing make them feel good. Fuck that. It's fantastic. That's the kind of just killer mentality you got to have. Everyone's sitting in there, they're locked in. Said fuck that. Everyone, and that's exactly what you want to see from this team at this point in the year. You love that. So I love where this team is at. Hopefully, I think Nate just texted me. He had to take a work call real quick. He's going to jump back in here, and then we'll absolutely dish out our takes.
Clones, baby.
Oh, we got Matthias could jump in here for 4 seconds while he's doing that, while he's working, I assume, or fucking around. Who knows? But before we jump into that, and this will give Nate a little bit of time to jump in, we should say thank you to our sponsors at Iowa Distilling Company, brand new sponsors of ours. They've been awesome to work with so far, and we're excited to be partnered with them. They have lots and lots of. Ooh, excuse me, gosh, I'm burping. I don't know if anybody saw me on screen. I chugged a beer. I'm just burping. They have an awesome lineup there. Obviously, Prairie Fire, their cinnamon whiskey is kind of their big deal. It's one of their big deals. It's great with apple cider, with in the winter especially. That's great with lemonade. It goes great with lots and lots of different stuff. Absolutely, it's time for coming. We all love coming. It's great, and clearly Iowa Distilling Company also loves it as well. They're down in Cumming, Iowa. Next Thursday, they're having a 14th anniversary party that is just celebrating the distillery. It's kind of a it's kind of a birthday party vibe. Have some I'm not sure if they have live music down there at all or not, but they're going to be having a big party down there for all that. It'll be a really good time. And they are it's been 8 years in a row now that they've been named by CityView as the distillery of the year, as best distillery, best whiskey. They offer their line of spirits is fantastic. Really appreciate them. Absolutely give them a try. They're available at a number of bars around the Des Moines area. The 1858 vodka goes towards the NIL fund as well. So definitely pick up one of those if you're looking for some, if you're looking for, my bit, Nate, I don't know if do you like White Russians, Nate?
Oh, dude, you're talking like the biggest Big Lebowski fan ever, right?
This is great because
we just went down. This is great. Let's go.
Okay,
well
so
now.
Nate, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I think I've made a point of tweeting about
aggression
this.
Will not stand.
Yeah, I've made a point about tweeting this out like during football season, the last however many years. But we have a tradition at my tailgate of drinking White Russians and then putting Cookie Crisp in the top and eating it like cereal. That's the eyebrow.
Could. I don't know if I would, but I could.
What do you mean you could? Cookie Crisp White Russians are a
I feel like
staple.
They're
a tradition of our
Russian.
What was that? What was that?
The cookie gets in the way of my White Russian.
No, so it's great. What you do is you put the cereal in, you eat it right off the top, and you just get that because then you just get that, and then you basically get like a cereal milk version of a White Russian. Excellent. Listen,
okay,
stop by a tailgate.
I could see that being trouble.
Just stop by a tailgate this fall. One, get there bright and early because we're cracking beers in the line to get into the lots. We'll do that. We'll get you some White Russians. You'll be zigzagging away from the lot back to the stadium. It'll be awesome. Don't let my mom make it for you though, because she doesn't. She's the like, and 2 shots of vodka. She's like that. She's the vodka lady. So
good woman.
Yeah, you'll just be blasted off your ass. But anyways,
did I miss court talk?
Nope. I was saving it. I was doing this to save it for you. Saints and Sinners also very, very good as well. So, anyways, Iowa Distilling Company, awesome partners. Happy to partner with them, and definitely check them out and get them for any tailgate or any party you've got coming up. They're available at a number of bars around the area. Check out Iowa Distilling for sure. So, Nate, the glass cord is ass. It's terrible.
It'd be one thing if we didn't have like precedent to know that it wasn't already ass, but we did have precedent. And even better is that the probably the best Big 12 player that's come out of the Big 12 in the last 5 years, it was his host All-Star game in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
They did the green court.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Green court. Damian Lillard won the 3-point contest because I bet on it. It's the only time I ever won a bet on the 3-point contest. So that was great. But it was terrible. The All-Star game was garbage. And the only reason it worked for the NBA All-Star game, is because they're not trying.
It's the NBA All-Star game.
Because they're not trying. Like,
yeah. Is it the worst All-Star game?
NFL's worse at this point.
So
because they're not playing football.
I'm going to exclude the Pro Bowl because it's just kind of its own. It's just kind of a different thing now. But as far as like an All-Star event that attempts to be an All-Star game, the NBA is the worst one though, right?
Yeah, hockey's by far surpassed it.
Hockey's great. MLB's still good.
Baseball's not great, but baseball's better, I'd say.
It's still solid. Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great, Bob.
To me, right now, what the conference today what happened today is the conference traded Christian Anderson, potentially a significant groin injury for Christian Anderson. They traded that in for a full court Edward Jones advertisement, a full court Windex advertisement.
We turned our conference into a bunch of iPad kids. That's really what we did.
Kind of, yeah.
Like we got a bunch of iPad. And I guess Sean Ahern saying he's in KC at the arena. In the breaks, they're doing breakdowns of shooting and splits and all that stuff. I counter that with, what the fuck's a Jumbotron for?
There's a giant screen in the middle of the arena.
Yeah, that's got 4 sides on it. Like Jerry Jones made the scoreboard popular. Like, use it. Like, we have athletes that and the crazy thing is we're doing it in this era of college sports where we're throwing seven-figure checks at these kids for 8 months. They're not even going to get the degree. They're going to leave, and it's a liability. It really is a liability. And I don't like Lipsy slipped twice on consecutive plays.
It was like on the same play.
I would, he baseball sliding, not even normal sliding. He's baseball sliding.
He baseball slid and kept his dribble, then got up and then tried to cut or tried to drive, and then his foot slipped.
Yeah,
Stupid.
Petty. I really like Petty on Texas Tech. He's one of my favorite guards to watch. I watched him again. Like, he's just fun because he's a Seattle guard. He's going to play hopefully just like Mason Williams will, but like, he was slipping, like with how basketball's a stop-start sport. Like, you are full stop, full start.
Absolutely.
My last piece on the court, Kyrie Irving built a shoe that has grips on the side of the shoe, both sides of the shoe. So like when you cut, like remember the Manu Ginobili where he blew out his shoe. He went right through the shoe.
Yeah, went right through the side of it. Yep.
Yep. You have that so that you have the grip. And everybody likes Kyrie's now. Now, they don't make him anymore because he went and said some political stuff, but the shoe is still good. The shoe's still good. Like Mariel Shayok, the year we won the Big 12, only wore Kyrie 3s the entire year. And Kyrie 3s at the time, they were on the Kyrie 5. Okay. So we're 2 years in the past. People are still wearing Kyrie 3s today. Jared Allen in the NBA hasn't taken off Kyrie 3. But you do it because it's on wood. The shoes are designed to be played on wood. They're not designed to be played on glass.
Right.
Go on your phone right now. This is glass, okay? Go pour water on your phone and rub your hand on it. How is it going to be versus a dry phone? It's going to be slick. Like, this is idiotic. And you can tell that I'm watching the Arizona game right now. The real issue I have is the paneling. You can see
the seams.
Individual seam on the panel.
It looks like shit on TV. It does.
Yes, it does. Why do you see that? 1, because it's circuit, but 2, because they're not even. All of them are like this.
That's what Jake Brent said that on the pregame this morning, is that like the panels are close, but like they're not 100% perfect there.
And not only are you going to have the slipping, you're going to have dead spots with the bounce. So like you're going to dribble and the ball's either going to go way too high or not high enough. And then you'll lose the ball. And Tech had a lot of live ball turnovers. I think we had an advantage playing on the court yesterday, but I think this is an abomination. I'm sick of it, and I don't want to see it ever again.
To me, up until Christian Anderson clearly was injured because of the floor, up until that point, the Big 12.
My second note here is court sucks.
Up until that happened, the Big 12 could at least say, like, well, everybody was playing with it. Like, it's fun for our fans and all this. And they could just say that's what they can use to just be like, okay, we're just going to use this because even though it's weird for the players, it's not like it's just something they just got to deal with type of thing. Christian Anderson absolutely slipped and hurt himself because of the floor. Period. Like, he just did. Like, and if that ends, I don't know, because he didn't come back in. I don't think, did he?
I don't think so. I saw someone in the comments saying that he would probably still play tomorrow. I don't think it was enough to knock him out of an entire game. But like Jefferson's banged up. I think that's part of the court. Like, I think.
Well, Jefferson's banged up is he hit knees with an Arizona State player yesterday. So it's probably more like a bone bruise type of thing.
The stability, though, like
you have
to put so much more. Like,
absolutely.
It's unnecessary risks. It's unnecessary risks. Like,
and that's the thing is like there's certain camera views where like the court looks awesome because like overhead view you can't see the seams at all, but then when you're overhead, the players have no shadows, so it's a little weird to look. It's weird to look at because the players just have no shadows on the floor when you're looking overhead. Then when you're looking off to the side, it looks kind of normal, except for the fact that you can see all the seams.
You got this like running matrix seam thing going on. Like,
it looks like one of those floors. It looks like when you see one of those like when you see like one of those shitty like low major preseason tournaments where they're playing it like in like the Radisson hotel lobby, and they have to piece together like a shitty like a sport court in the middle of a hotel.
I played at Atlantis, and they had a practice court and they have the main court in Atlantis. You're in a hotel ballroom. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure all of us have been to weddings.
It's
the exact same thing. Like, it's literally just the ballroom. They took out the dance floor and they put a court on top. I would think that I would rather play at Atlantis than this.
It's awful.
And the power went out during our game there, by the way.
And
mid game.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, mid shot actually.
But
the counter basket.
What perturbs me about this is like I understand that like when you're there as a fan, the encore graphics are cool. I get that. It's different. I totally understand that it looks cool in person. I get it. The problem is most of the people watching these games are not there, and
especially on Thursday at 11:30,
right? Wednesday and Thursday 11:00 in the morning, they're not there. They're. I mean, no matter what game, the vast majority, 95% of the people watching the game are not there.
Yeah, I mean the Big 12 tournament ends on Saturday too. So like even if the maximum game, you're only going to get one game on a weekend,
right?
Like,
honest question: if an Iowa State player gets hurt, gets a major injury from slipping on the court, could Iowa State sue the Big 12? Probably not. I don't think you could get away with that.
You could write a really angry letter and say that we don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some legal mechanism for it, but I kind of doubt it. But what actually before the conference tournament even started, what annoys me about it more than anything though is I feel like it makes what should be like it should be objectively the most revered conference tournament in the country. It's the Big 12 is absolutely the most prestigious basketball conference in the country. Even if like last year the SEC was a little bit better, wherever on a year-to-year basis anymore,
because the clock's right twice a day, baby.
Right, because the ACC is just not. It just doesn't matter anymore. Like, I mean, it used to be like the ACC was just here and everybody else was here. Yeah, but that's just not how it is anymore. Now,
Hansborough since retired. Like, yeah,
right, yeah. Coach K retired a long time ago. You know, the way the Big 12 views itself in basketball is very much the same way, or at least it wants to view itself very much in the same way that the SEC views itself in football, which is that we are head and shoulders above everything else that's going on because we have the best players, the best teams, the best coaches. And yeah, right here, probably requires some documented negligence on the part of the Big 12, the manufacturer of the court, and would be a bigger lawsuit target. Yeah. Like if the manufacturer oversold the grip of that and it actually caused an injury, then you maybe have some negligence case there. But for the most part, you know.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
That would be juicy.
Talk about the most nothing news cycle news ever. But
yeah, no shit. But anyway, so if the Big 12 wants to carry the same aura in basketball that the SEC carries in football, where it's like they have just this. There's this feeling from everybody on the outside looking in that this is clearly the best conference, best players, best coaches, best teams, period. Then you have to act like it. The SEC, their conference championship game doesn't have a bunch of dumb shit on the field. It doesn't have all this weird shit. It doesn't turn itself into a circus promotion. It says, we play football better than you. And we're going to put on an event that says we play more serious football than you do. And to me, if the Big 12 wants to carry that same weight in basketball, they have to act like it. They don't need to act like this is a fucking Vegas sideshow at the MGM Grand. This should be far and away the most prestigious conference championship game, that the conference championship tournament in college basketball. This conference tournament should carry the weight of the NBA playoffs. This should feel like, holy shit, this is heavyweight boxing, round after round after round after round. And this should feel like a momentous, huge, earth-shattering event. That's what this should feel like. But right now, what it feels like is a joke.
I'm going to piggyback on this with you. The SEC does their football championship at the same stadium every year with the same logo, and it's on turf. Yeah. So could it be on grass? Yes. We can have the turf grass argument all we want. I'm a grass guy, but
as it relates to prestige, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, but but you know what they're not doing? They're not playing it at the Idaho Potato Bowl on blue turf with a bunch of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Remember when the American became a conference?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how it kind of felt gimmicky and kind of forced and all of like this is we are doing something that the American would do in 2015 whenever they
absolutely
were
where you're just trying to get attention.
You're just trying like guys, we have Memphis, like look at us, like UAB, like
don't say UAB.
Yeah, sorry.
This is the wrong podcast to start mention UAB.
But yeah, go Owls. But like I just coming from like the beautiful Phillips 66 like two-tone court that we had with the black and the red accents.
Gorgeous.
This is like wow. We went from like Ferrari. Like if you buy a Ferrari, you can't change the Ferrari. It's like you're contractually obligated to like you can't change the paint, can't get a wrap. Or
you can buy a black Ferrari or a yellow Ferrari, but if you buy a Ferrari and it's not Ferrari red, fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like yeah, but they won't even sell it to you like that. But
I know.
We chose to have we traded in a Ferrari with 10 miles on it for a $200,000 Kia Optima that has got it's got the little neon light underboards on it that look cool at night when you're driving on the highway. That's what we did.
Kind of. You're not wrong.
Like,
and to me, Yormark, I appreciate where his head's at, where it's like trying to set the Big 12 apart. I get it. I do.
Go get UConn and Gonzaga. Set us apart that way.
Sure. I'm personally anti grab UConn and Gonzaga because this conference doesn't need.
We don't need UCF.
Well, we don't need them, but we definitely don't need them. But what I'm saying is like, as it currently sits, we don't need two more Final Four teams in conference.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I don't think this staff is going to shy down from a UConn fight. I think we'd actually welcome a UConn.
Oh, I think we would love it. I
think give us bulletin board material for years.
I think TJ Otzelberger is the absolute type of sicko that would love that.
I want them.
However, just for the sake of like, I like winning basketball games. Maybe switching out UCF for Gonzaga is not like my favorite thing.
Okay. My counterpoint is if UConn's in this league this year, are they in a 1-seed conversation? Probably not.
No.
If Gonzaga's in this league this year, are they in a 2-seed conversation? Probably not.
Most years, I think Gonzaga is more of like a 5-seed team. They're a 5
probably
seed.
A 5-6. Like
yeah,
with the league that they play in,
rather than a perennial 1 seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring them on. Give me the extra quad 1 game. You think Gonzaga's traveling fans to Hilton Coliseum? Fuck no.
Fuck from Spokane. This is the best way to put it. We had a Ferrari and we decided to put spinners on it.
Yeah, and then and neon lights under it.
There you go. That's actually probably the best way to describe it because like if you go back and watch the 2015 to 2019 Big 12 tournament and just the aesthetic of the whole thing, like pre-COVID, art. Like when you got that, like when you got the final and you got like Kansas that's got like Wayne Selden and that group, and then you've got Iowa State with DeAndre Kane and Melvin Edgem, like that is peak Big 12 tournament. That's as good as you get. Mario Shayak draining the corner 3 against Kansas State. That stuff is peak Big 12 tournament. And this feels gimmicky. It feels like a cheap bits of the product. Jack says, I don't know if you talked about this, but I like the fact that Jefferson gets a chance to get rid of his demons from a week ago. He's going to be ready. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but Joshua Jefferson's playing the best maybe the best basketball of his career right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this on Offensively Offensive of like where are we going to compare Jefferson and Niang at the end of the season? It's closer than I thought it would be.
All time?
Yeah, all time.
The tricky part is George played 4 years.
And to me, I compared the ceiling, like how high.
If you're just comparing the ceiling, that's tough.
It's close right now.
It's tough.
It's closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's
tough.
tough.
I thought it would be because I have a lot of respect for
I think I think if you were asking me to start a team today with either player at their ceiling, I think I would still take George.
I would too for the shot making.
But it's yeah, just for like the ability of like you give George the ball and just say go get a bucket, he'll go get you a bucket. But it's close, man. Like if I had the second pick and someone took George in front of me, I'd be pretty fine with taking Joshua Jefferson. Like I'd be pretty fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other cyclones that come maybe even before George or after George, but yeah, I think if you're talking 1-2 and you're drafting a power forward, Iowa State, I think that's 1-2 right now.
If you're going just peak as a power forward,
you call him Pfizer.
Royce White was really fucking good.
Point forward, he doesn't count.
You're not even counting them as the same thing.
No, that's I believe in like 7 or 8 different basketball positions. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in the standard like
that's
combo guard, point guard, shooting guard. Those they might as well be Spanish, English, and Mandarin. Like
that, and that's fine. I was gonna say, but if you're just talking about like guys that have a PF in front of their name, it'd be real tough to take.
Yeah, if you're doing a 2K, doing a 2K lineup and it's just all lined up that way, then a different story.
Yeah. But anyways, let's talk about the Arizona matchup. Couldn't make a damn thing down in Tucson. Arizona's obviously they're locked in as a 1 seed right now.
They're up 27-8 right now.
They're up 27-8.
Yep.
So you're playing Arizona tomorrow. And would it have been nice? Would it have 30? Okay, great. Would it have been nice to play UCF tomorrow? Sure. Was it ever really on the table? No. Nope. It was never on the table. Arizona's really good. There's a reason that they are in contention to be. There's a reason that Arizona is definitely like in contention to be the number 1 overall seed. They are very, very good. They do a lot of things very, very well. The one thing that they do like okay, but not awesome is they're an okay shooting team. They're not a great shooting team. But they can contend down low with anybody, obviously. And I felt like going into that Tucson game that I didn't actually hate the matchup. I mean, we don't have enough bigs to just match up with them one-on-one, but I felt like our defensive system with the traps down low, especially on the low block, I felt like could put enough pressure on them that if they were too slow to pass out of that you could give Arizona a lot of problems. And I'd be curious to see what kind of adjustments they make to that, because I don't know if the defensive game plan in Tucson followed through with that idea, but I'd be curious to see how they change. I think
the offensive game plan hurt the defensive game plan in Tucson.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it does. And I think they were okay at generating decent shots at Arizona, but they just didn't knock any of them down.
I thought we had to create offense more than we needed to outside of scheme, if that makes sense. Like from a football standpoint, when you watch Caleb Williams play or Aaron Rodgers play and they extend the play after, like they're running around the pocket, outside of the pocket, hoping to God that they get something because the first play, the first 2 reads didn't work. That kind of felt like how our offense was against Arizona. I talked about it on offensive, but there was a clip where we're going like this to run our set, and we cross half court with 22 seconds on the shot clock with no ball pressure. We don't get a foot inside the 3-point line until 11 seconds on the shot clock, which is a Buchanan puts 1 foot inside to then go into a dribble handoff. We shoot a quick 3 and we miss, and then we get the offensive rebound and throw it off Heisey's foot. Like it just wasn't working. I don't like the Arizona matchup at all. I'll be honest with you.
Fair enough.
Awaka being the backup 5 that's the biggest post problem that anybody can give you in the country. Oscar Clough and Kaufman-Renn is one thing, but Awaka being your 3rd post, potentially even 4th, is a different story. Pete's getting more healthy. Don't love that. I don't think their 3-point shot is as big of an issue as people make it to be. I don't think they hunt them.
No, not at all. No.
I think they're looking to feed Awaka and Pete in a high-low action, and also trying to get Krivas as many looks as possible through post entry. Andrew says, play to back to the basket, go at Krivas. I think that's great until they double him, and Krivas being 100 pounds heavier than him probably.
And
I
12
don't
feet
love
tall.
I don't love that. It worked today against Texas Tech because Texas Tech was playing Lawan Watts, who was on the Julius Irving for small forward or the 3, and they're playing him at the 4. So yeah, we can crab dribble all we want, back him down. I don't like that they will likely be able to have a significant post advantage. We are going to have to make threes. Like if we don't make 10 or 11 threes, I don't think we win. Positives. We are at home. It's a Friday game. It's a home game. We got them on the road. We played them at home last time when they had Caleb Love. We beat the piss out of them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I feel good there. Are we healthy-ish? I think so.
I think we're healthy enough.
Yeah, we're healthy enough to beat them. There's nobody banged up. Milan played like crap today. So guess what? He's probably due to go for 6, 7 threes at some point here in the next week. We like that. They shut him down last game. We're going to have to find open looks there. We're going to have another good Lipsy game. We need Toué to do something. We need Bateman to do something. We need Jefferson to not go 2 for 12.
Yeah.
And then we're in a conversation of can we win the game? Like that's all that has to happen before it's a conversation.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think to me,
we should touch on this comment too.
So one thing I think this is related to it.
Yep.
But with Killian Toué, just like we've all accepted this point. Killian Toué is just not. He's just kind of enough. He doesn't really do much offensively. He's definitely not going to shoot. Like we're not really worried about much about his offensive contributions in the way of scoring, except for transition and things like that. But what I have seen the last 2 games from Toué, 2.5 games from Toué, that I've been very, very encouraged by, is that instead of just kind of running through motion sets and just kind of passing around the perimeter and just kind of keeping stuff going type of thing, he'll get the ball, he'll drive towards the hoop, and if he gets cut off, he'll look and he's finding guys and he's finding guys across the paint in the low block. He found Buchanan and
he's running little touch passes in the lane.
Right. He's been we'd
call that probing.
Yeah.
Steve Nashing. Like Steve Nash would do it, and he'd run around. He'd go under the basket and run around in circles in the paint for a while,
and just wait for Amari Stoudemire to come open. Yeah.
Or Sean Marion
whoever. And Killian Toué the last couple of games, I think they found a way for him to be a contributor on offense without being a scorer. By doing that, by probing and finding guys in the low block, because there was a spot earlier in the game. He got the ball in the wing. It was in transition off of I think Milan Momcilovic had stolen the ball. They were coming back down, and he passed it to Toué on the wing. He had Jefferson down low in the low block. Now he had Milan Momcilovic wide open on the other wing, but he gunned it down to Jefferson, who got fouled on the low block and all that. And would it have been better to find Milan Momcilovic on the 3-point line? Sure, absolutely. But I did like where his head was at, in that he immediately made a very decisive pass to get it down to Jefferson on the low block, it was just him and his defender. Didn't really have a lot of traffic to go through. I liked that a lot because it tells me that he is no longer like it tells me that he's getting better at reducing the number of decisions he's making and saying, okay, when I get the ball, I'm trying to find guys under the hoop. I'm trying to find open players, because I think with freshmen especially guys like Toué, who's raw offensively, the more decisions you can take out of their hands and say, if this, then this type of thing, I think the more clear cut you can make a situation on what you should be doing. You can play a lot faster when you're doing that. And to me, it looks to me as though Killian Toué right now is playing a lot faster than he was, because he's saying, okay, from right here, I'm going to drive. If I can get to the rim, great. But if I get cut off, I'm looking here. And if I got this pass, we're cannoning out and we're finding the guy. It's decisive passing from Toué that I think is allowing him to really be a useful piece offensively without being a shooter.
Yeah. Well, part of that, the if that then this sort of thing, like Billis is talking about Christian Anderson, like how the hell did he find him in that spot? Well, your guys are coached to be in those spots all the time. If we can stick to our integrity and our spots and where we need to be, That should be a lot easier for Toué moving forward.
Yeah.
You can make the argument for both Bateman and Toué both seeing the game a little bit quicker over the last month.
Absolutely.
Total. If you combine them, Toué maybe not as much because of shooting, but if you look at the Arizona State game, he did hit that one in rhythm on the top of the key towards the end of the game. That was kind of a more instant shot, kind of more of just do. I hate JJ Redick, but he does talk about flow state, and I do believe in flow state.
It happens in music all the time too. When you just get going, you're just playing well. Yeah.
Yep. And if you really think about your brain in the moment of flow state, when you're just doing and everything's just kind of flowing and you're on top of your game or whatever that is, it just kind of starts falling. You just start doing, and you're not really thinking about why you're doing it. You're just doing it naturally and not like, oh, he stepped up this way, so the pass goes here. I don't even have to look at him. Like that's where the no look pass comes in, and it should be deadly next year. But we want it to be more deadly this year. To the point, I want to find that comment again. Need to drive to just draw some fouls on their bigs. I think that really comes down to, if we look at how we've used the dribble pin down, a lot of our Buchanan initiated offense is Milan coming into a pin down up the screen, up to the top of the key. And usually either gets a look off of that or two people run at them and we get an offense that way. I would like to see against Arizona, and we did a little bit of it with Lipsy when Fran was talking about kind of the off-rhythm layups he had against Arizona. We need to get downhill more. We need to get 2 feet in the paint more. The reason we're talking about Toué being such a good facilitator is the last 2 games he's gotten his feet in the paint. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot of that naturally created in our offense outside of our guards doing it themselves or Jefferson doing it themselves.
Right.
We need more people going at the basket from the head on, because then you get the corners, then you get the dunkers, then you get the guy behind you, then you get the trail that's filling right behind you on the top of the key, and you can just go like this. Like, that's what you have to do to beat Arizona, is you have to get to the middle of their defense the same way that everybody that beats us gets into the middle of ours. Like, that's how you win. They do seem unbeatable, but they are beatable the second, like, if you stab somebody in the heart, they're gonna die. Like,
right. One thing they did today that I think was kind of emblematic of that too is there was a couple different times. Sometimes it was Taman, sometimes it was Killian, sometimes it was Joshua Jefferson. It'd be taking their guy off the dribble they'd be attacking the paint, and right then when you do that, then if they have a defender, there's presumably you're gonna have a guy on the wing off to the side here, and then you have another person in the corner down here. There's gonna be a defender off to your left that's gonna be kind of roving between the two. Yeah, when you drive there, they have to sink in to help. Most of the defenses, they're gonna sink in to help on that, and then you're gonna kick it out to the wing. The defender is going to go out, chase that down, and try to close out on that shot. And then as soon as you get that, you can swing it around to the corner, and you get that wide open shot. And they did it a couple times today.
Yeah,
right. It's the one more pass, and Milan Momcilovic has gotten very good at making that one more pass because guys are closing out on him hard. And then you got Taman Lipsy sitting in the corner, who apparently is now automatic.
Sitting like I know exactly left corner 3. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it felt like Taman had a second to shoot, and usually like this needs to be about 0.3, 0.4.
Right.
It felt like 1. Like, and he made it.
And I think Taman has done a great job himself the last couple games of getting in the right mindset. This is going to sound kind of like high level bullshit, but like the whole story with Milan Momcilovic this season is how he was getting into his own rhythm with the jelly beans thing, and how that he just found his thing. He found his own rhythm, and he was able to stick with that rhythm through an entire basketball season, which is unheard of. But Taman Lipsy has found his rhythm now, where now it feels like now he's shooting without thinking about it too much. And I think the greatest evidence for that.
Flow state.
And I think the best evidence for that was he took a heat check 3 in the first half. He buried a 3, got a steal, and got another basket or something like that.
The one that bounced and he's jumping after and he made it.
He came back down. He came back down on the left wing. This has been the first half on the left wing and launched a heat check 3, and it almost went in. But I was like, Taman Lipsy a month ago does not take that heat check 3. No shot. And when Taman Lipsy is feeling confident enough in his jumper to take that kind of a heat check, that means his mental state and how he's processing the game, how he's thinking about things is so much more streamlined in that moment and in general. And when Taman Lipsy can play reactively and not worry about thinking about every little thing, when you're taking a jump shot, about the worst thing you can do is think about mechanics while you're taking the jump shot.
Oh yeah. Or
So
just
like,
thinking about the jump shot. You're just
right,
like, oh, open, boom.
and it
Like,
felt like you could watch for a while there where Tame was kind of going through his dry spell. It felt like you could see in real time, you could watch him thinking about his mechanics while he was shooting. And that's just a great way to not make a jump shot. And right now it feels like he's in that rhythm. He's in that flow state where he can just get the ball, not think, shoot it, go, let it go, and feel much more confident about everything that's going on around him beyond just his exceptional defense.
yeah, the second you're thinking about it is the second you're dead. Like it's you just gotta just clear your brain, think about nothing other than just like what's in front of you at the moment. Like kind of what you were saying earlier with like, hey, we got all this going around us. Like just throw the pass. It's better to not even think about it, like what Torrey was saying, or like we were saying about Torrey. So overall, I mean, I think we're in a good spot. It doesn't help that Arizona's blowing them out right now because we've had the advantage of resting our guys for probably 8 minutes of game time compared to the rest of the field. But it looks like Arizona's probably going to have 4 minutes off. So,
I mean, the nice thing is that the last two games, Iowa State has been able to sit starters for a while. Like they've been able to, not run them because yesterday they only played 30-ish minutes apiece. Today, let's see here, I'll pull it back up.
33 is the high for Jefferson.
Yeah, Jefferson had 33 minutes. Let's see, Taman had 31. Milan had 30. Buchanan had 24. So you're not really running like some math. You don't have guys running 38 minutes a game or something like that.
Yeah, you're not in a bad spot for a tournament setting. I truly think if we beat Arizona, we're winning the whole thing because I'm not worried about Houston or Kansas on another day. Like
absolutely.
I think the game of the tournament is this game. The winner of this game wins the tournament. Like
I would actually very much agree with that because if Iowa State beats Arizona, they're playing well enough that there's no shot Kansas is beating them.
Houston struggles because I think they play more physical than we do, believe it or not.
I think they do. I absolutely agree with that.
And the other issue that they have is they only run 7 guys. Like we ran effectively 8 today, not including Mulder, Rise, Nelson, or Kelderman. We ran 8. That extra guy is a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah.
When we got Houston in the championship a couple years ago with Shed, and I'd probably say that's the best Houston team of the last couple of years. I would say they're best. If Shed doesn't roll his ankle, they probably win the national title that year.
Probably.
And we killed them. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I think if we got Houston again, I think that's probably what would happen. I think it would be a Houston-Iowa State final again if we won. I like our odds. They're not going to travel fans very well. I think there was like 10 Houston fans there, friends and family. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like the 8th guy in the rotation makes a big difference. I mean, Nate Heisey played the lowest minutes of any of the.
No, we had 14 out of Plata, but which is crazy low if you think about it.
Plata, played 14, but still your 8th guy playing 14 minutes is an awesome breather for guys throughout the whole game. Your post guys maxed out at 24 minutes, which is great. You can rotate him in. You're not worried about it. You're not really worried about foul trouble. Torrey had 3. Everyone else was 2 or under, and most people are at 1. Really, one thing speaking of fouls, we don't have like a lot left for today, really. But one thing I felt like they did the first time they played Texas Tech is I think they saw Texas Tech's short rotation, and I think they made too great of an effort in trying to get Texas Tech into foul trouble. And where there was times where, like, for an example, there was times where Jefferson would back somebody down the post and just kind of go at them a little bit just to try to draw a foul. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. They ended up being in foul trouble, but not enough to actually matter. You had a whole bunch of guys that were at 4 fouls, but they just kept playing. And this game, I really felt like they didn't make fouling Texas Tech out or getting them in trouble. They didn't make it a point of emphasis this game, and I feel like that really helped them because they just kept running their normal offense rather than just trying to do one specific thing and then focusing in on that.
Yeah, I thought the difference was really more our defense and the court.
I'm not saying that was like the difference, but I felt like that was a factor in the first one where they were trying too much to lean on fouls.
We sucked in the first half and the first time against Tech. Like, just to call it what it is. Like
for sure.
we lost. Like, TJ believes, and this is just my opinion of what he's told me, but like he believes that not one play loses a game; it's a cumulative plays. Like, it doesn't matter if it was the last play of the game or if it was 4 minutes to go in the first half. Like, it's still 2 points. I thought we lost the last Tech game in the first half. I thought we had horrible body language with 12 minutes left, and I thought we had a really good second half, and we made it close, and it was within 6, I think, at the end, 6 or 8.
Yeah, and then Petty nails ass. Like,
well, he hit 2 or 3 crazy shots that were incredibly difficult, and they were hitting crazy contested threes. And
the first bucket today was Petty nailing some crazy contested long two, where I was like, "What the fuck?"
First note: Jalen Petty, tough. TUFF is what I wrote.
It's like, damn, guys, what the hell?
Yeah, and Taman couldn't have guarded him any better without fouling. But
no,
we had a great second half adjustment that game. I thought we could have won if that game would have went to overtime. We started off like crap today. They made a couple threes, and then it kind of toned down a little bit, and their guys got hurt. Like, Lawan Watts playing the 4 caught up to him. Christian Anderson getting hurt them a lot. I mean, they scored 20 points in the second half.
It really felt like they didn't have any sort of defensive answer for Joshua Jefferson all day.
They ran out of gas, and they didn't have post depth for defense. That was really what it was.
Yep. And then once you don't have post depth, but a post player is killing you, then you got to refocus and you got to move guys around differently, and then that starts leaving Taman Lipsey and other guys open.
And the whole time in the second half, we had 10 straight makes while they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, that's a way to lose.
This team right now is playing at a level that is capable of powering them to a third weekend in the NCAA tournament. The way they're playing right now, they got to keep it up. They're going to play Arizona, who it might be the best team in college basketball right now. They're going to play them tomorrow, and it's going to be. I really think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a hard fought game. I feel like this Arizona game tomorrow has the chance to be very similar to the Houston game at Hilton Coliseum, where you're just watching 2 fantastic basketball teams just trade knockout blows for an entire game. I really feel like you're going to watch that tomorrow against Arizona. I
hope we get that. It'd be good for the sport. If we play Arizona competitively, I mean, I think this Texas Tech game, before we wrap up, I think we should talk about where we think we are bracketology wise. I think we were the highest 3 seed before this. Favorite type of cheese? Brick cheese. If you don't know what it is, try it. It'll change your life. It's like a creamy cheddar-y kind of thing. Perfect on any sort of meat. But we were a 3 seed going into this game. I thought, like, if we lost this game, we're for sure a 3.
We're the top 3 seed.
Yeah, top 3 seed. I think now beating Tech by 22 points and going into Arizona, you're the Final Four of the Big 12 tournament, and more or less regular season, you're the 5th seed, but it's by tiebreak. I think you should probably be a 2 if the committee believes that the SEC of basketball is the Big 12. Now we're trying to get 9 SEC teams in and 12 Big 10 teams. God knows why. But I like our chances, and if we can play them competitively, even in a loss, I think we're still at 2.
As long as you don't get like absolutely blasted.
Arizona is Goliath because they're a national brand, and we live in the NIL era. And the NIL era speaks in dollars and cents and not feelings and emotions.
You know what's funny about Arizona, though? If you go back and look at how they've done in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, it's been terrible. It's been terrible.
They are a little bit of a fraudulent blue blood in the NCAA tournament the last 25 years or so. Since 2000. Because I remember I was on an Arizona podcast last year, and they asked me, they're like, just out of curiosity, if you had to guess, how many Final Fours would you say Arizona's made since 2000? I said, I don't know, probably 2 or 3, I would say. Maybe, I would say probably 2 or I think I guessed
Final Fours was the question.
And I was going to say I would say 3.
0, right?
0, not a 1.
Well, the 2 Wisconsin Final Fours, they beat Arizona in the Elite 8 twice, so it's
right.
You had to suffer a loss somewhere, I guess.
Right. So it's just funny because I think a lot of people put Arizona mostly in the same conversation as like Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, things like that. Maybe those are the 1A and Arizona's a 1B type of thing, but like I think most people put Arizona pretty much in that same category with the Blue Bloods. But they're kind of just they are a Goliath in terms of like national perception, and just that they are a very good basketball team this year. But they like historically deserve to be there in terms of like, what have you done for me in the last quarter of a century?
I think that's fair. I think you could make that argument with the entire Big Ten conference.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I mean, Purdue.
Pick any Big Ten team that's not in Michigan, and you could tell me that they are completely irrelevant at basketball for the last 30 years.
I think Michigan State probably.
I said outside of Michigan.
Oh, you mean the state of
the
Michigan.
state of Michigan.
Oh, okay,
Michigan and
wow.
Michigan State.
Like,
If you take both those schools out between the Trey Burke years and the Draymond Green years and the Teen Cleaves, the Big Ten Conference is a joke at basketball. You get a couple of
Maryland's been good in stretches
on the ACC when they were part of the ACC.
Fair enough.
That's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any current Big Ten school that I could look at and be like, okay, that's a good, consistent basketball.
There's not a good Big Ten. There hasn't been a Big Ten national title team since 2000. There won't be a Big Ten national title team unless it's Michigan for another whole year.
You're talking about like one that actually wins the title?
Actually wins the national title.
Because like Wisconsin was in one, and like Ohio State played for one.
Ohio State played for one with Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Wisconsin was in one, and they lost to Tyus Jones, and Purdue lost to UConn.
Right.
Outside of that, it's more or less garbage. Michigan got smoked by Dante DiVincenzo one year too.
Yeah.
But like being second's the first loser. Like if we're gonna knock Arizona, we got to knock the Big Ten.
You can knock because Arizona is above pretty much the entire Big Ten
outside of the
Michigan schools. Yeah.
Like, and Izzo's kind of getting into fraud territory.
I wouldn't say he's fraud territory. So I mean, Michigan State's really good this year. I mean, they're in content. They're a 2 seed right now. They're probably a 3 seed at the worst.
Win a title first. They've been a 2 seed for the last decade, making Sweet 16s because they get an easy draw every year. Like,
fair enough.
I
would say Izzo is more on the washed end rather than the
fair. I like that better. I like that better.
Izzo's like
wash versus fraud is different.
I would say Izzo is like one of the 5 best coaches in college basketball history, probably 5 to 10.
I hope he's not 5th. Because we Coach K, Dean Smith, Roy Williams, Rupp.
Those 4 for sure.
I'd probably take Bill Self over.
I would. Bill Self was the first name that came to my head. You could probably make an art, but would you take Self? Would you take Self over Izzo?
Yeah, I would. He's got
not right now, but all time. Would you take? What about Boeheim?
Well,
would you take Boeheim over Izzo? I would not. I would take Izzo over Boeheim personally.
It's closer than I would like it to be. The end of
remove the 80s from Boeheim.
I removed 2000 from Izzo.
Fair enough.
Like he's
at least that number like starts with a 2.
Yeah, barely.
But it does. This is such a good take. John Wooden coached against nobody. Fuck John Wooden. I don't care. That's like saying Bill Russell won 10 titles. Great. Congratulations. You did it against nobody. Will Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game nobody watched. Congratulations. You were defended by a 6'3" Carpenter. Good. Go for it.
Hey, but what was Bam Adebayo guarded against this week? 83. I mean, is he better than Kobe now? Best part, you know what his second highest scoring output of this season is?
Is it like 18?
32 points.
Okay. Well, and it was funny too because his average free throws attempted a game is like 5, and then all of a sudden he has 42. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
All right, Blue Star Cyclone. It's well known the Wooden era UCLA was cheating their ass off. I mean, they had Bill Walton, Lou Alcindor back-to-back recruiting classes.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think Izzo's comfortably top 10 coaches of all time.
He's probably fringe top 10. He's definitely top 20.
There's not 10 ahead. There's not 10 you would name ahead of him.
There's a lot of Big East coaches that are ahead of him.
I know, but you're not. But you're not. I'm sorry, but Bill Russell's fine. He's good, but I mean, I'm not putting him in my top Yeah, he's not my top 10 of all time.
Oh yeah,
probably
for sure. No.
probably not my top. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's in my top 20.
He's not in my top 20. He'd be maybe top 30 for me.
That's kind of where I'm at. 84 against the Wizards. Which ones?
Not with 40 free throws a game.
Which Wizards are we talking about here?
Ooh, yeah. How many Warlocks do we have to go against?
Yeah, I would say maybe say if we're playing like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Izzo to me is comfortable. Anyways, Izzo's had a good enough career that we're not fraud.
You're washed.
We're washed.
This is
Scott
like
Drew, I believe, is still in the neighborhood. Can be fraudulent versus washed. Baylor was bad this year. They got the one natty, but it was that weird 1 year after COVID.
The assistants have left him. Has not been great since the assistants have left him.
Jerome Tang, noted great basketball coach.
Elite Eight.
Assistant merchant.
There you go.
I mean, Tang, McCaslin, and Paul Mills from Oral Roberts. Like, all of those guys have left.
As soon as Scott Drew lost his assistants, suddenly Baylor's not very good. You know? I think Scott Drew might be a fraud. Izzo, not a fraud. Maybe washed. Definitely not a fraud. Scott Drew, maybe fraudulent.
I got one more just interesting concept here, because we're talking about the floors not being mopped well enough in the chat. Has anyone checked in on the employment status of Mr. Tang? Especially being on a glass court, I think we need to mop the floor a little bit more.
He is not present inside the Kansas City Metro right now, and he is currently still waiting at the.
Manhattan local airport.
So you couldn't land on the punch line, so you just stopped talking, or what?
No, my mic cut out.
Okay.
truly unfortunate, and now you can't go back.
Yeah, it's over now.
Couldn't think of the punchline on the fly and said,
I do like the thought of Jerome Tang ever since the whole firing buyout thing. If he's just like stuck in the Manhattan airport, like he hasn't left since.
he's just doing he's doing the terminal, but he's just stuck in the Manhattan airport because he has nowhere to fly.
Yeah, like the South Park episode where they're all waiting for Michael Jackson to go.
Oh my god. All right.
It should take me 2 easy steps to walk over these chairs and kick you right in the nuts.
Didn't you know Ben McCollum hasn't lost a conference tournament game since 2016, I guess, or something like that?
Until today.
Yeah, until they get shit on today, didn't they?
Yeah, by the Buckeyes.
By Ohio State of all teams.
Yeah, I think Buckeyes might have just sealed themselves in the tournament with that win too.
That's insane because Ohio State is terrible.
Well, like we've just said,
like we just said,
utter dog shit. We're good at football. Like,
woo. Wrong.
I really enjoyed watching Connor Stallions, the Michigan.
They lost by 3. Well, as SpongeBob once said, F is for fuck 'em. So let's wrap it up for today.
Jack Stack.
That's ball knowledge right there. Jack Stack is great. I love Jack Stack.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to say, ooh, I gotta go these little. No, Jack Stack. Jack Stack's awesome.
Yeah.
Jack Stack's great.
I think if we missed any good comments.
Yeah, did we miss any comments?
Why do I hate Jokic? Because he doesn't give effort 100% of the time. And if he did, he'd look like Giannis, but 3 times better.
My question is, why are there 45,000 players named Jalen in the NBA? Did anybody decide to pick a different name?
Jalen Rose, man. He made it.
I understand that, but what is this like an AI picture of Jerome Tang? Just chilling in the fucking airport.
There's too many people for that to be Manhattan.
All right, we'll wrap her up for this week. Thanks, Nate, for jumping on for the post game. Thank you. Rick Barnes is all time
below Izzo for sure.
I was gonna say Rick Barnes all time is not high enough for me to bother ranking him. I don't think. Like he's outside of any number that's fun and both fun and reasonable to talk about.
All right, let's have some fun with this. What is Rick Barnes as an NFL quarterback all time?
Rick Barnes,
JJ McCarthy.
He recruited Kevin Durant.
Rick Barnes as an NFL quarterback. Okay, so Rick Barnes had a good run at Texas. I think it was mostly buoyed by a couple really elite players that he had versus any like particularly great like X's and O's type of thing. You know, he had TJ Ford, he had LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant. See, Jim Kelly though was an underdog. They came from, he was with the Bills, lost a bunch in the championship. I mean, I don't hate it, but Rick Barnes did medium good with a lot of resources, but nobody cared to watch. So I'm going to say a quarterback that fits that is, what do we got here? Oh, $5. Thank you, Chris. So the toy car, I am currently working on it. I'm trying to figure out the best way to acquire one of these. If I need to get one off Facebook Marketplace, if I just get a new one. Where do you rank Matt Campbell? In a ranking of what? Basketball coaches? Probably near the bottom. But, let's talk more action. It's an interesting one as an NFL quarterback, though. So, okay, medium good, lots of resources, nobody gives a shit. I'm going to say Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers is like arguably top 10.
No, actually, no. The answer to this is Justin Herbert. Medium winning, awesome player, medium winning, nobody cares.
Yeah, because he doesn't. Yeah, Joe Burrow's got too much success to be Rick Barnes.
Rick Barnes is Justin Herbert.
Yeah, someone's got to be Neil O'Donnell, Justin Herbert, Phillip Rivers. It's got to be one of them. It's got to be one of them.
Phillip Rivers, when they played in San Diego, people cared. When they played in when the Chargers are in Los Angeles, nobody gives a fuck. You should take offense because your team doesn't matter. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl now. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
They didn't score on offense until it was 29-0.
Yeah, but he won a Super Bowl.
Did he? Did the Seahawks win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. Russell Wilson did not win that Super Bowl. That first snap of the Super Bowl was 15 yards over Peyton Manning's head, and it was 2-0.
I'm not saying he was like the MVP, but he won a Super Bowl.
Russell Wilson hater here, so I have to.
You can hate Russell Wilson all you want, and because you're a Packers fan, I understand that. But
no, this is a purely because I think Russell Wilson sucks as a human. Like I think he is a loser.
Well, as a human, or as a football player.
Human. I think he takes way too much credit for the Legion of Boom. And
so here's where I'm at.
Marshawn Lynch has gone on record saying that he changed the play at the line because he wanted to be MVP of the Super Bowl because he didn't get it the year before.
That's fucked up. But Russell Wilson was like a good quarterback, and he did still win, even if he wasn't the reason necessarily that they won the game. He still won a couple. He still won a Super Bowl, went to another one,
lost it
entirely
by
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has too much he has too much jewelry to be Rick Barnes. Justin Herbert is Rick Barnes is Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get better than that. Maybe Carson Palmer.
I'd have to really dig into it, but I don't think you're going to find a better comp than Justin Herbert for Rick Barnes. Rank Billy Donovan all time.
Back-to-back national titles. He's at least at Hurley's level.
What level's Hurley at?
I don't know, but he's at whatever Hurley's at. Throw him in
Hurley's a fuck. Billy Donovan.
Higher than Rick Barnes. He's
high. Oh, he's definitely higher than Rick Barnes. He's higher than Hurley.
Half a tier less than Izzo.
You got to remember that Billy Donovan did it at Florida, which prior to that didn't really have much of a basketball brand. UConn is UConn. The road to national championship good at UConn is a lot shorter and easier than the road to national championship at Florida. Now at Florida is a really good job because Billy Donovan was there, and where UConn's pretty much always been good. So or at least the last 50 years they've been good.
Yeah, UConn's done it with Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, Dan Hurley. That's kind of a plug and play place, especially that is the New York team at this point. If you're going to go,
who is the Bruce Weber of quarterbacks?
Ooh.
To me, this is the guy that's mediocre coach. that just keeps like that people somehow keep believing in him and just gets like a bunch of chances for no fucking reason.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith has had, well, Bruce Weber did take the Illini to a national championship game. I don't hate that. The other one, I had another one in my head. I'm going to say not a quarterback, but as a coach, Josh McDaniel. The one they just like keep giving him chances for some fucking reason. As a coordinator,
Kirk Cousins is making a lot of appearances in the chat. Like
everybody thinks everybody's Kirk Cousins.
Like just the average, just average.
No, Jameis Winston is way more fun and interesting.
Matty Ice was solid too.
Matt Ryan was good. Went to a Super Bowl. Bruce Weber as a football coach, I'm gonna say you could make the argument that he's Russell Wilson.
I'm okay with that. Because he's just as annoying as him.
Because he took Illinois to that the championship team, or the near championship team with D. Brown, Luther Head, and Darren Williams was really, that was an amazing, that's one of the better college basketball teams of the last 40 years.
Best that never was.
Right, best that never was. Yeah, like as far as just like raw talent on that team was amazing. But after that,
Frank Martin of QBs.
Frank Martin. Okay, so Frank Martin to me is of quarterback. So Frank Martin is never won big, just a fairly consistent winner.
Yes.
And everybody thinks high. Like everyone thinks of Frank Martin as a good person, a pretty solid coach. Never wins big, but never like loses big. Just a solid quarterback. Just kind of a solid guy. Just doesn't ever win big.
The for F1 people, Frank Martin's Nico Hulkenberg. Like
I don't hate that.
Doesn't win a ton. Like
just shows up with his lunch pail and does it.
Does a good job, doesn't complain. Usually
Frank Martin is Chase Daniel. Frank Martin is Chase Daniel, who spent like 15 years as just a very solid, reliable backup quarterback. Was never bad, was never great, never won big. You plug him in there, he does his job, and that's just what he does. You could maybe also make that argument that Frank Martin Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco minus one Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco minus a Super Bowl, I think, is Frank Martin, because he just kind of went out there and just did his job.
Who's the Steve McNair of college basketball coaches?
Steve McNair of college. So Steve McNair was a high-end talent, went to a Super Bowl, didn't always have the best talent around him. Fairly short peak, but a high peak. Unfortunately, he gets compared to like a Warren Moon because he came before him in the same franchise and was fairly similar skill set and all that.
Reminder that Russell Wilson threw 5 picks in that game and still won.
McNair, that's quite an indictment on the Packers, I would say.
Yes, because they've neglected defense.
Okay, so the Steve McNair of basketball coaches. Short peak, Scott Drew.
That's a horrible future outlook for Scott Drew.
It's not great. It's not great. So I won't use Scott Drew because we still got a long ways to go.
Tang of QBs is Justin Fields. He was good for a little bit. He was a flash in the pan, and everyone realized he was shit.
That's actually fair.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So Steve McNair, he did go to Super Bowl. He had a short peak. The high peak is very good, like very well respected guy. Everyone likes Steve McNair. Good player. Played for a little bit of an underdog franchise, especially kind of an upstart one with Tennessee.
This is beautiful.
Mark
Brunell is the Frank Martin of Chase Daniels. That's sending us home, baby.
That's the one right there. That's such a good one. That's such a good one. Oh fuck! I'm trying to figure out this Steve McNair one. Steve McNair is Chris Beard. Steve McNair is Chris Beard.
Nice.
That's a good one. Steve McNair is Chris Beard.
Good one.
Yep. He's Chris Beard.
Too soon.
I'll give everyone like 5 seconds to throw one more of these in, And otherwise, we'll probably wrap it up for today.
Yeah,
This is a fun game. We should do this for an off-season thing.
This needs to be.
This is a great game.
How do we turn different sports into quarterbacks?
Yeah. Well, you can go both ways. It's what quarterback is this coach or what coach is this quarterback?
Yeah, what quarterback is this point guard? Like, yeah.
That's fun. We should do that. That's an off-season bit.
Yeah.
That's absolutely an off-season bit for us. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I think we'll probably wrap it.
One
Okay,
to close it. One to close it. If Taman Lipsey was a quarterback, who would it be?
Allen Iverson.
A quarterback.
Allen Iverson.
Oh my God! No,
Favre.
give me an NFL quarterback.
Fine.
He's Lipsey's kind of like a cross of Gronk and Favre because it just feels like there's always something falling.
Noted
off
quarterback
of him.
Rob Gronkowski.
Like he's just like running around, like he's just throwing his body at things just for because he loves the game. But there's just selling his body out.
What quarterback is
Brock Purdy's a good.
I don't hate Brock Purdy there. That feels like the easy comp.
Baker's a fun one.
So Taman talks a lot less than Baker, but if you're just talking about like scrappy dude that just goes out and wins football games, I like Baker as a comp actually a lot.
Yeah, like high character Baker.
Yeah, a high character Baker. Well, I mean, Baker's not a bad dude. He just says weird shit. Like, so it's
Baker. Taman Lipsey's never been arrested naked in the middle of the night. Here we go.
That doesn't make him a bad. That doesn't make him a bad dude. No. Taman Lipsey is just introvert Baker. That's all he is.
Married man Baker.
Yeah, married man Baker. That's what he is.
Family man Baker.
Yeah, there you go. Married man Baker. All right, now we're actually going to wrap this thing up. So everybody, thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow after the game. I don't know if you can jump on if you want, Nate. Hopefully we have a really good result to talk about.
If we win, we can do more quarterbacks.
Oh, Nate, I've now found out right now that you're an F1 guy. Who's your driver?
So I'm usually a McLaren fan. I don't think McLaren's going to be in it this year, so I'm kind of rooting for Leclerc. But I'm a McLaren guy.
I'm a Charles Leclerc guy. So as Charles Leclerc is my driver, if he ever hopped in the and now, so Ferrari fucks around too much, but Charles Leclerc is awesome. I have decided as a team, I'm on Team Cadillac. We're just gonna sit there. We're gonna hop in day one. We're just gonna ride it out and see what happens.
No, I like that. I'll follow them. I kind of like the new Audi rebrand.
Audi's cool.
Change. I think
cool.
I think it's cool. I think they have a chance. My family's a bunch of Norris fans, so I got to stick with Norris. But I want Leclerc this year.
Charles Leclerc is awesome. I love Charles Leclerc.
Just to beat my dog looks just like his dog, kind of. So it works.
There you go.
Out.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just goofy as shit too. Like he's just like one of the dudes. It's great.
I am. Now I'm out of the closet though.
now he just is a Cadillac guy.
I'm just a Cadillac.
Yeah, you're just a Cadillac guy. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll see you guys again tomorrow after the Arizona game. And then hopefully we'll see you again on Saturday after a Houston game. Maybe we'll see. Then Sunday, for sure, after the selection show, we'll the main channel, Silicon Fanatic, which we're on the main channel, but Chris Williams and Jake Brenn will go live with a kind of an initial bracket reaction show. And then we'll go live with a more comprehensive, we'll deep dive into the whole bracket to Iowa State's region and look at different paths and stuff like that too. We'll deep dive it right after that, and then offensive will be there on Monday to also kind of really dig into the shit and get into the sicko stuff. So we've got plenty of content for you here in the next couple weeks. Hopefully the next month. We'll see. But for Nate, I'm Levi Stevenson. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of the Post game, and we'll be back again. See you tomorrow.